Hello students, how are you all? So welcome back to the next session of class 12 computer science. In today's video we are going to discuss about user defined functions. Already we have discussed about library functions and modules. So here we will have user defined function. So basically when we are talking about function, all of we know that functions are a group of statements which are written to perform specific tasks. If it is already written, then those functions are known as predefined functions, inbuilt functions, and if the user is writing the functions as per his or her requirement, then it is known as user defined function. Okay, so if we are defining any function as per our requirement, as per our need, then those functions will be known as user defined functions. So let us see what are the different things associated with function. Then we will have the practical session so that everything will be clear to you regarding user defined function. So if I will ask you better what is the advantage of using function, then it is that we can use these functions in our Python program anywhere and for any number of times. Okay, it is not like that we can use only once these function in our program. We can use number of times these functions in our program anywhere whenever it is required. Okay, so how to write our function, how to write user defined function. So to write user defined function, one keyword is used and that keyword is known as def. Means we are going to define our function. Def stands for definition of function. Okay, so let us have the syntax, let us have the look how user defined function looks like. So when you will see the function will have may take parameter. Okay, it is not necessary that it will take parameter. So the function may take parameter as input within the opening and closing parenthesis. A function name always symbolizes with the parenthesis symbol. Parenthesis symbol means this symbol. Here we are having the parenthesis symbol. Okay, it means this is function. So if any variable is in between that parenthesis, then this variable is known as parameter. So after defining the function name and parameter, a block of program statements start at the next line and these statements must be indented. Okay, so suppose if we want to see the syntax how it looks like, see how to define a function. So for the function definition, the keyword def should be there and then function name, and then within parenthesis list of parameters is there. This list of parameter is optional beta. You may give, you may not give as per our requirement. I will tell you when to give list of parameter and when it can be skipped. Okay, so here we may have few line of statements. Okay, and these statements will be considered as our body of function. Okay, clearly. So see here, as soon as we are putting colon here, indentation level will be changed. It is done automatically. Okay, so you have to take care of this indentation level. So all the statements following this indentation label will be the part of our this particular function. Remember that. Okay, so you have to take care of indentation level. Def is the keyword and you can give, sorry here it should be, you can give any function name. Here this name can be anything but it must follow the naming convention rule. Means no space should be there, it must not start with number and all these things. Okay, that you have learned in class 11. Okay, all the naming rules that were applied to any identifier will be applicable to the function name also. So next we will discuss about call a function. A function is not going to execute until we call it. I will show you practically also, but let us have here first the content what we are going to discuss today. So calling a function in Python is similar to other programming language. In every programming language, if we want to execute our function, then it must be called first. So how to call for the function? Using the function name, parenthesis opening and closing, and if we have used the parameter, then that some parameter must be passed here there also. For example, here we have to use the name of the function, and if any argument is there, then we have to pass list of arguments. This is the way to call our function. Okay, so I hope these things are being clear to you. If not, I will show you all these things practically also. Now, how many types of user defined function can be? In how many ways we can write user defined function? So we can write user defined function in 4 different ways. The first one is simplest way, where we don't have any parameter and we don't have any return statement. Okay, bete? Second one, see, we are having parameter but we don't have any return statement. Third, we don't have any parameter but we are having a return statement. And fourth one, we are having parameter as well as the return statement. Okay, so talking about this, that having parameter and having return statement, our function will look like this one. So in Python, the return statement is used to return a value from a function. Return statement without an expression argument returns none. See the syntax. Here bete, what we have written. Now see here, our function is this one. Okay, these are the parts of our function definition, because see here the indentation level are same. As soon as we are getting back to the our indentation level of this one, then the body of the function is over. So suppose we are having these 3 statements in our function body. Okay, so here we are returning something, we are returning some value, our function is returning some value. Okay, so that value will be returned where? That value will be returned to the statement where we are calling the function. Let me clear all these things using programming, but let us finish this one. 2 terms will be there, bete, parameters and arguments. So I will show you that the variables passed during function definition are called parameters. Now these will be known as parameters. Here it is known as argument. Let me change it as parameter. Okay, so whatever variable we are using in function definition are known as parameter. Okay, and the variable which we are using in calling statement are known as arguments. Okay, so here we are defining our function, so variables will be known as parameters, and here we are calling our function, so parameter will be known as arguments. Okay, so we will write our own user defined function, the simplest user defined function, and what it will do, bete, it will just add 2 numbers. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to add 2 numbers using user defined function, and name of our function is sum. Okay, and we will take the very first type, that without any parameter and without any return statement. We are going to discuss the first one. So let us have the first one. So bete, first we are going to define our function. For that we must have the keyword def, definition, the name of the function. You may have any name as per the naming convention rule, and since the first one is without any parameter, I am not going to take any parameter here. Just put a colon, bete. Colon means we are going to define our function. Whatever the following statements will be, those statements will be part of our definition. Okay, so just put enter. As soon as we press enter, automatically you will see that indentation label will change. Now see, now here the cursor will be here. Okay, now what we want, bete, since we are going to add 2 numbers, so 2 numbers will be needed. So here let us have our 2 numbers, and let us enter those 2 numbers by the user. So enter first number and then B. Again let us enter the second number so that we can have the addition, since Plus is binary operator. It means two operands are needed. Second number. What else bete? Now we are having two numbers. What we will do? We will add A plus B, and what we will do? We will print the result. Okay, sum is C. That's it. Okay. Now let us try to execute this one. What do you think? Whether we will have any output? Any guess? C. We don't have any output because already I told you bete that a function is not going to execute until it is being called. So we have only defined our function, but function calling statement is not there. So we have to include function definition, function calling statement. Now, since these statements were only the part of our function, so what we have to do, already we have written our function definition. Now we want to write the function calling statement. That will be no more part of our function definition, so you have to change the indentation level. So go back to the original indentation level, and here we will write function calling statement. So how to call a function? Just we have to write name of the function. Name of the function is sum, and we don't have parameter, so here no parameter will be there. Now see, when I will execute, we will have the output. See here, now the user has been asked to enter the first number. I have entered 5, then again I am entering 6, and here we are having sum is 11. So simple, no? So it is having without argument and without any return statement. What if we want to use the second one? Here we are having with argument and without return. Let us have with argument situation. Okay. So with argument means what we have to change here. Let us have, again we will have sum. Let us have the attribute parameter a comma b. Now we are having the parameters. Okay. Now since we are having parameters, what we will do simply we will add c equal to a plus b. Okay. Now we will print the result. Same, sum is c. Okay, so we have done about function definition. The part of function definition is over. Now what we have to do we have to call our function, and we have to take these parameters from the user. Okay, so since we have provided these parameters here, we have passed the parameters. What we will do, we will use these two statements here. These two statements will not be part of our function definition. Okay. So how to pass these two? So when we will call this function, sum a comma b. Now see here. See the difference here. In the first situation, we don't have any parameters. So here in the calling statement, we also don't have parameters. These two must be matched. Here we are having parameters a and b. So in calling statements, again we are having parameters a and b. So from where the value of a and b will come? So from here the value of a and b will come. So first we will be asked to enter the value of a and b. Then those values of a and b will be passed from here to here, and then based on these values of a and b, sum will be calculated, and then we will have the value of c. Okay, so let us try to execute this one. Again, see, we are having 6, then 7, and the result is 13. Got it? So how these statements are being executed? We have define this function at the top of our program, but remember, when you will execute this set of code, the very first statement which is going to be executed is not this one. Remember. Okay, so which statement will be executed? This statement will be executed first. Okay, when this function will be executed, as soon as we are having function calling statement, then only this statement will be executed. Let me explain the sequence of execution of these statements. Okay, So I told you that the first statement which will be executed here is this one. Okay. So here what we are doing, we are calling our function. So simply as soon as we are calling our function, our control will move to where it will search that where this function has been defined. So here the function is defined. So now the body of function will be executed. So first it will ask you to enter the value of a, then b, then it will add a and b, and then it will print c. Okay. Similarly here, what will happen? But first you will be asked to enter the value of a, then you will be asked to enter the value of b. Then we are calling which function? Then we are calling sum function. And as soon as we are calling the sum function, now our control will move to the definition of sum, and the value of a and b will be passed here, and here c will be calculated taking the value of a and b, and then the sum will be printed. Okay. So the two techniques we have discussed. One more thing I want to tell you, that here this a and b will be known as what? Parameters, and here this a and b will be known as arguments. Okay. So the variables used in function definition are known as parameters, and the value used in function calling are known as arguments. So these were the two things. Now let us have the third technique or way to use function is without argument but return statement. Okay. So without argument but return statement. So I am copying this code to save the time, because here we are having without argument, and just have a look what other changes I am doing here. Now without argument but must have return statement. Okay. Now here we don't have any argument, so if we don't have argument coming from the calling statement, then we must have to enter the parameters under our function definition. Okay बेटे, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमारे पास कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट है नहीं जो हमारा कॉलिंग स्टेटमेंट से आ रहा है, बट हमें कैलकुलेशन के लिए तो इनपुट चाहिए होगा. तो यहाँ पे फिर हम इनपुट लेंगे कैसे? इनपुट हम लेंगे अपने फंक्शन डेफिनेशन के अंदर से ही लेंगे. ओके. सो हियर वी वांट टू यूज रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट. So what we will do, we are having our result in which variable bete? C. So you may write here return C, or you may write here directly return a plus b also. Okay. Here instead of writing C is equal to a plus b, you may write directly return a plus b. Since this is the first class, I am telling you like this, that we are having our result in C. So what we will do, we will return C. Now what? Now what to do? So our function is returning something bete. What is it is returning? It is returning an integer value. And what is that integer value? That integer value is the sum of a and b. So where it will return? It will return this particular value to that very position where we are calling it. Okay. So if our function is going to return something, it means when we are calling it, we must have some place to store that value that we are getting from there. So let us have res is equal to sum. Okay. So if you will look clearly बेटे, आप यहाँ पे देखो कि ये फंक्शन हमारा क्या कर रहा है, हमें a प्लस b का रिजल्ट रिटर्न करवा रहा है. तो अगर ये हमें कुछ रिटर्न कर रहा है, तो हमें एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए भी कोई एक जगह चाहिए होगी, कोई एक लोकेशन चाहिए होगी. तो इस सिचुएशन में जब हमारे पास रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट होता है बेटे प्रोग्राम में, तो हम क्या करेंगे, जब हम फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ पे हम एक लोकेशन प्रोवाइड करेंगे जहाँ पे ये वैल्यू जो रिटर्न होके आ रहा है दैट कैन बी स्टोर्ड हियर. ठीक है. प्रीवियस केसेस में रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट नहीं था, इसलिए हम जब फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहे थे तो हमें अलग से कोई लोकेशन प्रोवाइड नहीं करनी पड़ रही थी जहाँ पे हम उस रिटर्न होते हुए वैल्यू को स्टोर कराए. बट यहाँ पे जो कि हमारा सम रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट के थ्रू आ रहा है, we must have something to store that result. Okay. So now we are having our result where bete? Now we are having our result in res. Okay. Res. Okay. Let us execute this and check what we are getting. So 8 and 9, we are having 17. So have you seen the difference? If you are having return statement, then you have to write like this. This is the third way. And what is the fourth one bete? With argument and with return statement, with argument and with return statement. So here we are having argument, and what else we have to do, bete? Can you have any guess? So here we are having add argument, but what else we want? We want to add return statement. So similarly, as we have done here, sorry, we will write here return C. Okay, so once we are using here return statement, here what we have to write here, bete? It will be stored here, क्योंकि यहाँ से अगर वो रिटर्न कर रहा है तो यहाँ पे कुछ तो होना चाहिए उसे स्टोर करने के लिए, ठीक है। अब चूंकि हमारा रिजल्ट RES वेरिएबल में आ चुका है, तो हम यहाँ पे क्या प्रिंट करेंगे बेटे? यहाँ पे हम प्रिंट करेंगे RES के वैल्यू को, ठीक है। Let us see. See, so these are the 4 different ways of writing user defined function, ठीक है। हम पैरामीटर ले भी सकते हैं, पैरामीटर नहीं भी ले सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो अब आपके मन में ये सवाल उठ सकता है कि हम पैरामीटर कब लें? तो नॉर्मली बेटे, जब भी हमें कोई भी मैथमेटिकल फंक्शन परफॉर्म करना होता है अपने फंक्शन में, तो ये ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि हमें वेरिएबल्स की जरूरत पड़ती है। जैसे अगर मैं आपको बोलूँ यहाँ पे कि हमें यहाँ पे 2 नंबर को ऐड करना है, तो हमारा इनपुट क्या होगा? वो 2 नंबर होंगे। अगर मैं आपको बोलूँ कि आपको एरिया ऑफ सर्कल कैलकुलेट करने के लिए एक फंक्शन बनाओ, तो इनपुट हमारा क्या होगा बेटे? क्योंकि पाई का वैल्यू तो कांस्टेंट रहने वाला है, तो हमारा इनपुट, हमारा जो एरिया है वो किस पर डिपेंड करेगा? ऑब्वियस सी बात है, रेडियस पर डिपेंड करेगा। तो उस सिचुएशन में इनपुट क्या हो जाएगा? हमारा रेडियस हो जाएगा। अगर मैं बोलूँ कि एरिया ऑफ रेक्टेंगल कैलकुलेट करना है, तो हमारे पास इनपुट क्या हो जाएंगे बेटे? लेंथ एंड ब्रेड्थ। तो हमारा फंक्शन किस इनपुट पे काम करता है, दोस इनपुट्स कैन बी टेकन एज पैरामीटर, ठीक है। तो ये स्टैंडर्ड लिख तो हम किसी भी तरीके से सकते हैं, ठीक है, बट विच वन विल बी मोर एफिशिएंट, ठीक है। तो अगर अपने प्रोग्राम में हम कोई इनपुट ले रहे हैं बेटे, तो दोस इनपुट विल बी कंसीडर्ड एज पैरामीटर्स, ठीक है। अब अगर हमने इनपुट लिया है, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि उसके ऊपर हम कुछ कैलकुलेशन करेंगे। तो जब वो कैलकुलेशन हो रहा है, तो उसको वापस से हम रिटर्न करने के लिए यूज करेंगे रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है। सो द फोर्थ वन इज द एफिशिएंट वे, द इफेक्टिव वे ऑफ राइटिंग यूजर डिफाइंड फंक्शन। अगर आपके प्रोग्राम में इनपुट यूज हो रहा है, इसका मतलब है रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट डालना सही होगा बेटे, ठीक है। एक स्टैंडर्ड यूजर, एक स्टैंडर्ड प्रोग्रामर इस तरह के टेक्निक्स ही यूज करते हैं। अगर सिंपली आप अपने प्रोग्राम में एक मैसेज प्रिंट कर रहे हो, तो उसमें तो हमें इनपुट देने की जरूरत नहीं है। फॉर एग्जांपल, if I will ask you to write a program to print hello message, then there is no input required, because we are not going to calculate, we are not going to perform any mathematical calculation upon that, so no input is required. So for that particular purpose, no parameter will be there, no return statement will be there. But if you are going to perform any calculation, then try to use parameters and then return statement will be there. So the fourth one is the most commonly used function. So I hope you have understood this 4 types of writing user defined functions. Still, if you are having any doubt, bete, you can ask me anytime in the comment box. I am always there to clear your doubt. Thank you for watching, bete. Stay safe.